Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Shafiq. If you are planning to visit the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, you will need to make sure that you are applying for the right visa, as the new visa rules have come into effect from the 3rd of October. New visa rules have been introduced together with new entry permits to include Jobseeker and exploration visa and quite a number of visas. If you are planning to come to the UAE, it is important that you find an authorized agent and make sure you are applying for the right visa. Also, you need to check with your flight operator to make sure you have the right requirements, because the requirements have quite changed for all those passengers that are arriving in the United Arab Emirates. Before you plan your next flight to the UAE, it is important you ascertain you have all the necessary requirements, so you do not have to be deported back, or you do not have to waste your time and be bounced back. People coming to the United Arab Emirates need to make sure they have the right requirements, because the visas, the new visa rules have come into effect starting from the 4th of October 2022. In this video, I will be taking you through quite the number of changes that have been introduced, including the new entry permits. Starting from the 3rd of October, the advanced visa system was updated to include all the newly introduced visas. In this part of the video, we will look at all these newly introduced visas, how much they cost, the requirements for each visa, and all the necessary document you must have for you to apply for these visas. The visa system has been changed, as the government had earlier on promised to provide a unified system where an individual can apply for any visa that they would wish to apply for. It is important to note that also the flight operators have put forward their requirements. You need to check with your flight operator for all the necessary requirements before you. With all that being said, I would not advise you to apply for the visa on yourself, but approach a licensed, authorized agent to process your visa for you. And let's get started. Now, when you check the visa system for the government of Dubai, which is gdrfad.gov.ae, you realize that all these visas have been included. Quite a number of visas have been introduced: the green visas, the Jobseeker visas, and the golden visas. In this part of the video, we will be exploring all this. We will look at the most important, that is the Jobseeker visas. The Jobseeker visas have been put in categories, in durations, in validity of 60 days, 90 days, and 120 days. It is important to note that the Jobseeker visa does not require a sponsor or a host. So we would look at the entry permits for multiple trips, entry permit for short periods. We will look at the visas that have been updated on the government portal, the requirements, the steps you will need to go through. The requirements will be the steps that you need to go through, the fees that you will need to pay, and the service guide as per the Dubai visa system. Now, in the procedure, the Dubai says entry permit services. We will look at the entry permit services, as you can be following. Entry permit services, we have the new entry permit for exploring business and or job opportunities. We will focus on this one. Issuance of entry permit. We'll look at the issuance of entry permit. And this is the service guide. We have employment entry permit for investors, all the green visas, the residence visas that were introduced in the newly introduced visa rules. This is just the service guide, and this part of the video is only for information and illustration purpose. So we shall go to new entry permit for exploring business or job opportunities. We have issuing entry permit for single entry job, issuing entry permit for exploring business, which is a single entry. All these visas have been updated on the system. Again, I would not advise you to apply for the visa on your own. It is important that you approach an authorized agent to process your visa, because if you make any mistakes in the application, your money will not be refunded. Now, these are some of the requirements that are required for the issuance of a job seeker visa for the validity of 60 days. The service steps are to obtain the service through the website, or you can also visit the Emirates centers in Dubai, or you can visit the typing centers in Abu Dhabi, and the fees are 555 dirhams for 60 days, 685 for 90 days, and so on and so forth. The fees are the service availability, the terms and conditions have all been updated on the advanced visa system. It is important to note that the Dubai Emirate has its own visa system, and also the Abu Dhabi and other Emirates also use one visa system, which is the icp.gov.ae, as I will also be showing you later on in the video. The entry permit may be extended for once or for multiple times, not exceeding 180 days. These are the related services, no related services, and these are some of the service centers that you can approach if you want to work on your visa in Dubai. The fees are different for people who want to apply for the visa when they are inside UAE. The fees are different for those who are applying while outside the UAE. Issuing entry permit for exploring business, single entry. These are all entry permits. We have entry permit for job opportunities and entry permit for exploring business opportunities. Again, it has also been categorized by validity into 60, 90, and 120 days. The requirements are as below, depending on the applicant. A colored photo, qualification certificate, Iranian census ID card, certified account statement. The service steps, you can find all this information on the Dubai visa system. The fees that you must pay, terms and conditions for the application, the service availability, all this has been provided on the advanced visa system for the Emirate of Dubai. I will also be showing you what is happening with Emirate of Abu Dhabi and other Emirates. They have also updated the visa system to include all the newly introduced visas as per their requirements. This is the service guide for obtaining and applying for the visa, cancellation of entry permit, issuance of entry permit, new entry permit for green residence was also introduced. Depending on the purpose of someone's visit in the UAE, they will have a visa that suits their purpose for visiting the UAE. Issuing entry permit for green residents, high-skilled workers, investors, self-employed, people who are self-employed, and also green residence for partner. This is the service guide. As you can see, the investor is granted a work entry permit. It has the requirements, the service steps, the fees. Again, it is not good to apply for this visa by yourself. you may not know which visa you need to apply for, it is important you visit an authorized agent to assist you with the application process. If you apply on your own and you happen to fill in wrong information, your money may not be refunded. But if you apply through, now we will go to the Abu Dhabi visa system, the smartservices.icp.gov.ae. This is for Abu Dhabi and other Emirates. The system has also been updated to include the newly introduced visas, the Jobseeker visas, the golden visas, and the green visas. All have been updated on the system. As you can see, you can start the service, you can track the application, but again, I do not advise you to do this on your own. It is important you approach a typing center that is authorized to help you in the application for a visa. The fees are also different for people who are inside UAE and also those who are applying from outside the UAE, and the requirements may differ greatly depending on the applicant. So this is the 60 days job seeker visa. You have all this information to fill. Just imagine if you're applying on your own, you will have all this information to fill. It is a 4-step process. Whichever step you complete, it will make a great percentage to your application process. All this information must be filled in correctly, and you have to be very careful when filling it in. I advise you not to do this on your own, but to approach a typing center in Abu Dhabi to assist you in the application process. You can also check your file validity. You can track your application. You can track the application. You can check the file validity. You can also pay for the overstay fines. If you happen to overstay your visa, you can also pay your overstay fines from the website or from the ICP MOHRE application. That is basically about the newly introduced visas. I kindly ask you, if you would like to apply for a visa, it is important that you approach a licensed authority. It could be a travel agent, it could be a typing center in Abu Dhabi, it could be the Emirates centers, it could also be a flight operator like Etihad, Fly Dubai, and Emirates. They can also assist you in applying for a visa. For those people who qualify for a visa on arrival, you arrive in the UAE, then you can also apply for a visa and it will be issued to you there and then. This is a 3-step process for applying for you request the information, you attach the info, and then wait for your visa. It will be sent